Hey, everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Alonso here with Matt and Christy, getting caught up on the latest from Nicolas Cage, one of, I'm sure, 40 movies he'll be putting out this year. But the acclaimed Pig, a lot of you on social media asked us to get to it, and so get to it we did, and Matt's going to tell you about it.
Nicolas Cage is Pig. No, actually, Nicolas Cage plays a man named Rob who is living a very hermetic lifestyle in the forests of Oregon. He's got a pig that they hunt truffles together. The pig seems to be terrific at it because Rob finds these wonderful, great big truffles, and he sells them to this kid, Amir, played by Alex Wolff, who comes, from time to time, every week or so, barreling in his fancy Camaro and, loud music and classical music.
Loud classical music.
Right, but very loud. And they have a very unfriendly relationship, but Rob gets what he needs, primarily in terms of like foodstuffs and goods. He's not really chasing money. Then one night, some thugs break in and steal the pig and beat the hell out of Rob. And then the movie becomes Rob's search for his pig. He makes Amir take him into town, and he goes searching for the pig. And you find out that there's
if
much
John
more to
Wick
Rob.
were a really good cook.
Yeah, you find out that there's much more to Rob than we thought. You realize that he's got standing. You discover he's got standing in the town of Portland. I think one of the things this movie does really well is it somewhat uses our perception of the unhinged Nick Cage that we've seen in so many things recently, because we don't actually ever get that. And this, I think, is a great reminder of what Cage is capable of. I found this movie to be very compelling, and there's some scenes, especially one particular scene where Rob is talking to this other chef that maps to it. It could be something that Cage himself is saying about acting and creativity and the pursuit of art. I really, really like this movie. It's about grief. It's about relationships with other people. It's about following your calling. I don't want to give too much away because that would spoil some things. You've got this. I think Alex Wolff is absolutely up to the task of working with Nicolas Cage here. I had the luxury of interviewing Wolff, and he just gushed about Cage, saying that
he's an old too.
Yeah, and he gushed about saying, as far as he was concerned, there's everything he did before working with Nicolas Cage and then after. Wow. And Adam Arkin shows up in this,
so good.
Who's also really, really good. Going into this, I really thought, like, okay, based on Mandy and based on some of the other stuff, like, this is going to be another Nick Cage revenge, go insane, weirdly lit, a lot of like, oh. Nope, it's not. This is a very subtle, very restrained, very world weary character that he's playing, who still has some things to say and kind of doesn't really care if anyone even hears it. I really liked this movie. I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. And besides folks asking us to review it, you had been so high on it that I really wanted to check it out. And I hate the phrase tour de force because it's such a cliche critic phrase to lean on, but it really is. It's everything that Nicolas Cage does so well. It is like the quiet, wry, kind of world weary Cage. It's just the soulfulness in his eyes and what he can do with his voice in understated ways. You have a couple of moments of crazy wild Nicolas Cage, just enough. You have him being, verbal and quick and lacerating. That scene in the restaurant with the other chef, holy shit, is holding my breath. It's so tense. It's such a killer. I loved it. And I love the way, I gotta say, so Michael SarnoskI wrote and directed this. This is his feature debut.
Wow.
And I love the way he pieces out what we learn about this character And it is kind of like John Wick in that he has to, go back into this world, and every person that he encounters informs us a little more about who he used to be. And it is a revenge thriller in that regard, but it's a slow burn. I also would like to see a double feature of this with First Cow.
I was thinking about First Cow too.
Or, they do, he does a lot so subtly with like lighting and production design. And then what we see in his little cabin in the woods at the end makes so much sense, so much more sense about who this man is once we've taken that journey with him and come full circle back.
And why he left in the first place. Yeah. I like this quite a bit. I fear it's being a little oversold. Like, I kind of wish I walked in not having heard anything about it, because it's been so highly praised. I was like, well, there's a lot that's really great here. It's kind of a novella, it's very much about this character and what this character goes through, and everything that happens is pinned on this character pretty much. It's also sort of about two old men with very refined tastes and shitty coping mechanisms. But that's interesting. And it's worth noting the Alex Wolff character isn't just blasting classical music. He's blasting like some sort of audio course that explains to you how to appreciate classical music. Like, he's trying to develop this refined taste that he clearly seems to think that he needs to survive in this world. Yeah, I think what SarnoskI does here with Cage is not unlike a movie that I loved that nobody saw or cared about. But David Gordon Green, a few years ago, directed a movie called Manglehorn with Al Pacino. And it is one of the most low-key, subtle, powerful Al Pacino performances of the last several decades, because there's not one hoo-ha in it. Like, Al Pacino can just show up on set and give you, heat, scent of a woman, like big, 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 big. And so when you could find a director that he trusts enough to like go quiet and small and delicate with, that's exciting. It's like when McConaughey made Mud, and it was this revelation of like, oh yes, you can do that too. I think Cage could do this when he feels like it. He just doesn't seem to feel like it very often, but he does now. And I'm thrilled about it, because I've seen a lot of shitty movies that Nicolas Cage is in. I'm sorry. Like, that's just, that is his legacy. Like, yes, he's given some great performances and he won an Academy Award, but boy, has he cranked out a lot of garbage films. This, thankfully, is not one of them. And yeah, that scene is extraordinary. There's a lot of other moments that I think are really delicately powerful and have a real punch to them. Yeah, I think it definitely pairs, I think, well with First Cow because of the whole Pacific Northwest of it all, the way that food is handled in the film in terms of the people who create it and the effect that it has on others. I think this is a lovely movie, and I hope people go check it out.
And there's like a mystical nature about the animals in both movies.
Yes.
About both the cow and the pig, that they are more than just companions, that they have some kind of like higher wisdom about them that makes them essential.
I was going to mention that there's moments in this that Cage almost feels like a retired wizard. He's because
that was the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Well, but we see him effectively cast a spell on Arkin, right? And that scene is also extremely moving. But yeah, that one scene in the restaurant with the other chef is just like, it's so tense, and then it ends in this way that is unexpected, right? It ends in a place of warmth that the beginning of the scene doesn't necessarily hint at all. I have to imagine that this character arc for Rob has to have appealed to Cage as an artist with a long background that may have been misinterpreted versus what he thinks he's doing.
Interesting.
I really like this. I think this is a very emotional movie, and just from the standpoint, like, you can't help but read into what an actor may be doing when even just choosing something. I think I really, really like this, and I hope people see it. Again, this is not a revenge thriller, right? I mean, this is I think more than anything, this is a story
about a reckoning with the past. I think
it's about a reckoning, and it's about grief, and it's about getting to acceptance, I think.
Yeah. And it's worth noting that even though like Cage is dialing it down, he's also playing the kind of person who suffers a head wound early on in the film and never cleans up the blood and goes through the rest of the movie with like dry viscera on him. You're like, are you okay? Do you want to watch it? No, I'm fine.
And he never looks weak. It just like, it makes him stronger. He's like driven to find his pig.
Just makes it scarier.
The pig is really cute. All right. So I'm saying 8.5. I really dug it.
I said 7.5. But I could see it, didn't I?
You said 7. Do you want to change it?
7.5. Sorry.
Great.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to go up to 8.5 and match Christy. So it's the same score. It's the same average.
8.5 plus 8.5 plus 7.5 is
8.2.
All right. I believe you. Anyway, Pig is really good. Go find it. It is where? Is it streaming yet?
It's I'm not sure.
I think it might just be in theaters. Hang on. We're so prepared. It's Saturday morning, you guys.
It is theatrical right now.
Okay.
Distributed by Neon. It's totally. This is one that would be worth seeking out, only just because don't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's just in theaters at the moment, but it will be streaming soon enough.
Cool.
But yeah, like see it before you hear too many people like us praise it to the skies, because I think I would have been happier if I'd gotten to have this be a discovery rather than be told by everybody how great it is, because it's hard not to grapple with expectations like that. But anyway, yes, by all means, check it out. Thank you for watching. Thanks for for being here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. There's never been a better time to go join our Patreon, because today we launch our recaps of season 2 of Apple TV's Ted Lasso.
Don't fret, Boba Fett.
There you go. And of course, next week we'll be doing our monthly Off the Menu. Our subscribers have chosen among the various Richard Donner films that are streaming, the Richard Donner cut, rather, of Superman 2. So that's going to be exclusive for our Patreon members at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. Christy, Marvel Mondays is over?
It's so sad. It's over. Yeah. So if you guys missed it, Black Widow, our little Black Widow talk came out last Monday, and it's over for now because, we're going to have Shang-Chi, we're going to have the Eternals, we're going to have the third Tom Holland Spider-Man.
And then there's the off-brand Marvel movies that aren't part of the MCU.
The Fantastic Fours?
Morbius and Venom 2. And
but also the Fantastic Four and Hulk and...
That's true. The Ang Lee Hulk. I'm trying to get him to watch Howard the Duck.
Those?
I don't know. I'm trying to get him to do Howard the Duck. And I told him it's supposed to be terrible, and that's what I would
be game to rewatch Howard the Duck for the first time since it came out in 1986. I was schooled on this by Bibbs. I thought Howard the Duck was the first Marvel movie, but no, it's Red Sonja.
Oh, really?
I guess if you don't count the Corman Fantastic Four, is that how this worked? I don't know. I can nerd out about it in the comments. I don't know, and it's whatever. It's out there. Nonetheless, we'll be back next time with more. Have a good week. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.